All right. It is great to be here today. Some people have been acknowledged. There are a few more I want to acknowledge, so I'll do everybody. Chris Calori, as I said, our great Gateway Development Commissioner. When I first met him, I was skeptical. He was from New Jersey. But Corey was right. He did a great, great job. Thank you. Not here today, but someone who's been a great partner in helping us get all this money, my partner, friend in the Senate, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. Let's have a round of applause for her. A great partner across the river, and we work so hard for the metropolitan area, which is sort of a seamless baton pass all the time, because Cory Booker is such a great representative, not only of New Jersey, but of the country. We have our two great governors. They're very happy today, as I'll mention in a minute, and they have been great, great partners. Not every governor previously was very much for Gateway, as you know, on either side of the river. But, these two great governors, Hochul and Murphy, have been, every time you've needed them, they've been there. They understood that New Jersey and New York getting along was crucial to the future of the metropolitan area. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A round of applause for both of them. Somebody who has known transportation, I think, from the day he came out of the crib. I think he said Hudson River, a great leader, head of the ranking member of the Judiciary Committee now, but a transportation advocate all the way, and a great partner who's responsible for so much that's happened in New York transportation-wise, Jerry Nadler. We have our great Amtrak board chair. I think he's done a great job, and I've made sure he's stayed as board chair for a long time. Tony Kosha. Pete Buttigieg lives and breathes transportation. He couldn't be here today, but again, anytime you call the guy, he calls you back within a couple of hours and is always there, no BS, anything like that. And one of the reasons he's great, there are many, he has a great deputy secretary, a former Schumer staffer for 9 years, and then first a Moynihan staffer. Moynihan, as I always say, when he was leaving, he said, Schumer, I'm going to give you, and in Moynihan language, a gift. Polly Trottenberg. And she sure was a gift. Our acting administrator, the FTA Administrator Vanderpool from the Bronx. She told me Castle Hill. She went to the same great high school as Sonia Sotomayor, and that's great. We also have Amit Bose, the FRA Administrator. Where's Amit? I didn't see him. There you are. We have two former Schumer staffers who now work on Gateway, and they did a great job working for me, and they're in the right place to make sure this happens, and that is Rob Hickman and Leanne Sinpadan-Sakul. I think I finally got that right after all those years. Alicia Glenn is here on the Gateway Development Board, always caring about our area from the Port Authority, a bi-state agency, Rick Cotton and Mr. O'Toole. And one of the most important, not the only, but most important reasons we're doing this is for labor. We made sure that every bit of this tunnel is built by well-qualified, well-paid construction labor here. Union people, raise your hands and a round of applause for all of you. There are too many to mention. I'm a labor guy all the way. Okay. So it's great to be here. Now today we're here to announce, really, this time it's real, to cross the finish line on one of the most challenging and most important milestones for Gateway, what's called in Washington the FFGA, and it stands for the Federal Full Funding Grant Agreement. The Gateway race was truly a marathon, with its twists, its turns, its bumps. but we laced up, we kept up the pace, and we made it. So today, I'm proud to say the massive $6.8 billion infusion of federal funds, the light at the end of the Gateway Tunnel is signed, sealed, and delivered. And you know I always have something. It has a cherry on top. Why is it a cherry? This is for the governors. Because originally our deal was the federal government would pay 50%. We are paying 70%, which means New Jersey and New York taxpayers have to pay less. Every time I've been here at the past, I've held up a hard hat. So my great press guy, Angelo, said, I got something new, cherries. I said, oh, okay. Here they are, folks. It's a cherry on top. A lot of cherries. 70% is a lot of cherries. And I'll leave them here for any of the next speakers who would like to indulge. So, furthermore, construction now has begun on both sides of the Hudson. It's all systems go, no turning back. But let me take a step back for a second. When I took on Gateway, when it was do or die trying, I made an announcement that I would deliver the federal government at 50% of the cost. And I knew if we really worked hard, we could get it higher. So today we can shout it out. The federal share of Gateway is now more than 70%. This is unheard of, but I'm Majority Leader. This is New York. We go big. Today's $6.8 billion FFGA allows other funds that I announced previously with my colleagues, and it brings the federal total to $11 billion. So that's $11 billion plus 70% Fed share. These are hard dollars which will translate into hard hats, working on the job. And again, I want to thank my partners, the governors of New York and New Jersey, who have put in a significant amount of dollars as well to make this happen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With today's lock on the FFGA, New York and New Jersey can now free up extra money to put into other transit funds. So, this is huge for mass transit and transportation across New York, and my strategy in the bipartisan infrastructure and jobs law was always to try and craft it so New York Fed dollars would be maximized. And let's face it, Gateway is the most consequential infrastructure proposal in all of America. As many of you know, for a long time now, this project has been my passion. It's been a labor of love. Ever since Governor Christie pulled out the funds, I knew we had to do something. There were lots of twists and turns. Donald Trump said, you build the wall, maybe I'll give you Gateway. I told him, NFW. We're going to get this done on our own. And after many false starts and obstacles placed in our way, Gateway's full speed ahead, all systems go. We know why it's so important. The rail tunnels under the Hudson River are an essential artery that moves countless people and goods along the entire eastern seaboard. If the artery gets backed up, the heart of our national economy ceases to pump. America would go into recession overnight. Millions of people would lose their jobs. The GW Bridge, the Holland and Lincoln tunnels would be jammed with traffic bumper to bumper 24/7. Pollution would exponentially increase. So Gateway was a huge priority. And a lot of these points and why and how I led the bipartisan infrastructure and jobs law to passage is these reasons. But there were many others. Across the country, every week, senators, congressmen are cutting ribbons and putting shovels in the ground to rebuild our infrastructure. And President Biden gets a tremendous, tremendous amount of credit for pushing that priority, and so many others. It's good for New York, good for America. The President knows this. Look, we're a country that can and should do big projects like Gateway. And the Hudson Tunnel project now moves into full construction. That's it. We spent a lot of time getting here, but because of its importance, Gateway's been a mission, and I want to assure all the people here working on it, any bumps in the road, logs on the tracks, you'll have Senator Schumer, as well as my colleagues, making sure that this goes forward to full completion. No ands, ifs, or buts. So, we're here. I brought the president here to see it a while back, you may remember. The Trump administration delayed the work for years, as I mentioned, but we never backed down, and now there's no turning back. I was told now the number of, we said 72,000 direct jobs, but Chris just said it's up to 95,000 jobs. 95,000 jobs. Every one of those people who's working on this gets a good paycheck. They spend it in the stores, in the restaurants, and all the others. So it's pumping money into the New York, New Jersey economy in a way we've hardly ever seen before. It's a great thing. It's all systems go. Thank you, everybody.